Hello, and welcome to Early Late Nights, the show that brings you the latest eSports and gaming news from right across the Oceanias right here to Australia. Let me introduce your host, the man with the funny face and the glasses and the nose. Let it be known, this be the almighty Ciaran Marchant.
Hello everybody, what the bloody hell is going on? Thank you for joining me for Early Late Nights here on the Explosion Network's Twitch channel, or coming right into your ears through any good podcasting service, and or maybe even on our YouTube channel. Welcome to another week, another lot of gaming news! And boy oh boy, are we in for a treat? It's all beginning this week. It's all beginning if you're a Destiny 2 fan. Forsaken's on the way. If you love the Spider-Man with the PS4, you've got lots to, you've got it all there this Friday. And it's super exciting to see the collection of games coming out. And we are in that time of year that costs us all a fuck ton of money that we just can't afford ever. So, I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. I hope you're excited, because it's going to be a fantastic show. I don't know if you've seen, I spoke about it last week, the Puddles controversy of Spider-Man has continued. There are now people looking at legal actions against Insomniac because of the lack of the Puddles that I spoke about. What the actual fuck? What the bejesus? Stop, people. Reddit, slow down. Slow down, Reddit. Is it shirtless Spider-Man yet? No. I don't know if we're going to be that lucky and get shirtless Spider-Man. Don't think so. Don't know, but that's fine. That's okay. We'll be talking a bit more about Spider-Man later in the show. You're going to hear probably a lot of Spider-Man news this week, but it's worth it. The game looks fantastic. I'm really hyped for it. I'm excited, and I really hope you are too, because it deserves our excitement. If you don't know if you heard right, so eSports is always a highly contested matter. Always highly contested, some great action, some great moments. And, we're technology driven. We're driven by technology itself. So, what could be a good way to decide if, say, you're running a Fortnite tournament and it comes down to the last two players in a bracket, or two people that both died at the exact same time to be 42nd. And so, fuck it, let's just decide it with a coin flip, which is exactly what happened at a recent Fortnite tournament. But it decided who would win a couple $1,000. Literally, if you were to qualify and make it into the finals, you had to be in the top 40-something of your qualifier. The last two people drew, well, the 42nd and 43rd, they drew on times, and it was decided who would go through on a coin flip. Fucking hell. For fuck's sake. Look, and apparently that's the actual rule book, and if the person goes on to win, which I believe the event has already gone by, then fuck, that would be rough. But I'm guessing if they were 42nd, they wouldn't be going on to win, or that'd be an epic comeback, and a bit of a blow this week. The head of the International Olympic Commission has come out and said that video games are not likely to come into the Olympics due to their violent nature. Disappointing, and it comes to a point where I guess with everything that's happening right now, it is a scare culture fact that the shooting in Jacksonville recently has put more negative light on gaming instead of negative light on guns, which I fucking can't even understand, and I kind of refuse to go into. But I really hope that mindset changes with the coming future. I think esports and gaming in general is such a growing media, such a growing community and market now, that it's all a matter of time before it gets entered into the Olympics or our own version of the Olympics, whichever comes first. I'd love to be involved in the main event, but if they need to go Olympics, good job, Ciaran. Just named it. If they call it the Olympics, I would like to be paid my royalty for that one. On tonight's show, I'm going to be giving you a review of the Melbourne eSports Open that I attended on Saturday of last week. Give you a whole rundown of what I thought of the event and what I felt about the whole thing and what the future of that event itself. I'm going to be going through... I'm not going to be going through the article itself because, the interview itself, 60 Minutes did a piece late last week about video game addiction and parenting with that. I'm going to talk about it in a different way. I'm not going to go off on I'm not going to go off on the actual piece because I could probably spend a good amount of time being angry about the piece that was shown. I'll talk a little bit about that, but we're going to go into the things that gaming already does to assist parents and to assist people with this addiction and how we can see the addiction in our community. Spider-Man, there's also been more DLC announced. True News TV news host covers the shitty stories. Apparently, it's my job to cover the crap stories, according to Dylan. Spider-Man just announced the story trailer for its first piece of DLC, which looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to break that down, as well as the other titles for the up-and-coming DLCs for it, as well as what I think should be done for Spider-Man in terms of DLC and story. And finally, for the tip of the show, I'm going to be talking about Anthem, Bioware's up-and-coming behemoth, the Destiny Killer 2.0, the next big game from Bioware. I'm going to be looking at their character development for Anthem and how it differs from anything they've done before and why I can find that a bit worrying, but at the same time there's hope for it and we shall see exactly how that unravels very soon. I was going to say shortly, but I went to say soon and I went full Sean Connery, soon. Sean Connery keyboard and speaking. I should do a whole episode like it. But anyway, let's dive in. The Melbourne eSports Open was a fantastic event. It really was. Held between Margaret Court Arena and Rod Laver Arena last weekend. It contained the League of Legends OPL Grand Finals as well as the Overwatch Contenders Grand Finals, as well as a whole range of open tournaments, including Fortnite, Pokemon TCG. There was Overwatch ones. There was all your beloved fighters, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Tekken, 6, all of them. It was a really good event, as well as the JB Hi-Fi Gamer Spot. I believe that's what it was called, where they brought out game developers to bring the latest builds for up-and-coming games such as Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, as well as the latest tech from various manufacturers at the JB Hi-Fi Game Spot. Now, tell me this. Tell me, it's so good. It was so good. Overwatch Contenders, if you're an esports fan, I really suggest you, if you can't get to Melbourne, totally fine. If you can find another esports event to go to about a game that you reasonably care about or that you want to be involved with, go to it. Because I watched Overwatch Contenders for the whole day on Saturday, and the way it's presented in a way that non-Overwatch players can begin to understand the game. The commentators do a really good job of explaining mechanics, explaining why teams are doing things, and they get you really involved. And there's no way to avoid the hype and to avoid the atmosphere that the crowds create. Every missed ulti, every close team fight, every single moment that is just making you sit that little bit further off your chair. It is so fantastic. It is so good. And I had the best time. And I'm already a big Overwatch fan. I already watch Overwatch League. Shout out to Custer, who I met, by the way. Big fan. Love you so much. But anyway, professionalism, everybody. Professionalism. We've got to... It was so good to see it on such a big scale. The set was perfect. The team's involvement was really good. The experience of the commentators really shone through. And ESL do these internationally. And it was really good to... He met me. It was really good for me to see how that was interacting. How that shone throughout the entire thing. And ESL did a fantastic job of this. My only, I guess, the event wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. It was still pretty fucking massive. It was still big, but other than the main stadium for the big event, the Overwatch Contenders of the League OBL, you had the Margaret Court Arena section over here that was for all the open events, and then you kind of went into this small courtyard, and kind of there's a couple different food events. There's the Omen by HP truck that is at every event, so you can play Overwatch on it. And then there's also, you go up some stairs to a little JB Hi-Fi area. And the JB Hi-Fi wasn't massive. It was, like, the game spot wasn't huge. I think they did really well with the games they had. There was a large variety of games. You could play Spyro, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You could play Spider-Man. It was really good to see kids jumping in and playing Spider-Man. The build looked really good. I didn't get to have a chance to have my hands on it, but the game itself looked fantastic. As well as, you know, the little areas of manufacturers for gaming stuff. And then also, 2018 people, merchandise should really be labeled pop culture figures, or pop vinyl figures. Pop vinyl figures, including a couple pre-orders if you want to pre-order stuff from JB Hi-Fi. But the event wasn't massive, and I think for the first year, I didn't play Spyro. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance. I saw it, there was a really long line, but the grand finals were about to start for Overwatch, and I had to go back. But I didn't get a chance, and it breaks my heart. If I was there by myself and I wasn't just, you know, grabbing people and running people around, I probably would have stopped, but got to be involved with the esports. That was the main reason I was there. I think the event has got lots to grow, a lot of place to move, more people involved, get more exhibitors there, get more esports fanatics invited, you know, get more teams there, get it more involved. It was exciting. The stadium itself was only about a third used, but it was pretty much full. Exactly, like it wasn't patronizing to the fans of esports. Like, exactly, like Michael was able to sit and actually chill and cut the feed because I didn't play Spyro. Michael, who isn't an Overwatch fan, who I met up with in Melbourne, was able to enjoy the Overwatch presentation because of how inclusive the commentators were and how involved everybody was. Now, the games of Overwatch were some of the best I've ever watched, especially being live. The Overwatch Australian contenders really showed what was going on. Other than a few minor details, it was a really good event, and it has room to grow in. As I said at the start of this piece, if you like esports, if you like any games that has a multiplayer or an esports environment, please get involved. Please go to an event, be involved, show that you're passionate, show that you care. Give people like JB Hi-Fi and ESL more reason to put more events on. You will fucking love it. I promise you, it'll be great. If you got any questions about the Melbourne Esports Open, please shoot them through to me in the chat. Or, you know, normal places, Twitter at your boy Ringo, all those places, and I'll let you know where I can be contacted at the end of the show. 60 minutes. 60 fucking minutes, everybody. I don't really want to go into it because I watched this piece earlier today so I could do some research and understand what I was talking about before I got into it. Because originally I was going to talk about the piece and why it was a one-sided piece of shit that displayed all the fucking toxic pieces of... Oh, I can't even get started. I cannot get started. I'm not going to sit here and be judgmental. I'm not going to sit here and preach. You know, as a 24-year-old white kid who, you know, lives in front of a computer half the time, doesn't have kids and doesn't have that much responsibility other than looking after myself, I can't comment on what I believe. I don't think it's right for me. I've done it in the past. In this instance, I don't. I will say it was very one-sided. There was only the one side of the coin really shown, and that was the very worst of gaming addiction. And you could argue, you know, you could argue with me that gaming addiction isn't a thing. And I honestly, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I can't, from my opinion, I'm one side, but I'm talking about this from the matter of, okay, let's take this as gaming addiction is definitely a thing. We're 100% there. The piece never spoke about how to assist parents with dealing or preventing this from happening in the first place. The piece only showed the bad shit. The piece didn't actually give any advice. It didn't give any like positives from gaming. Each of you that are probably watching, unless you're watching because you're part of the gaming is a problem argument, that's fine. Gaming is such a wonderful thing. And they talked about gaming being an escape. That these kids have escaped from moments in their lives where they're scared of school or they're really not a part of society, or that they're kind of trying to find some comfort in a parental divorce. I completely understand that that's a thing. Because gaming is an escape. Gaming is a whole nother level of imaginative food for thought. Like, I was so angry by the whole thing. I was so upset. What parents need to know is that if you don't, with these consoles that you're buying for your children, there are thanks Walt Disney for the bits. There are more included. There are parental controls included. There are parental controls included in the actual console that can assist with limiting your child's time on the console, locking down purchases from the child, like doing it. And I find that, this piece was about a 14-year-old and like a 12-year-old. And I think whenever somebody really questions this, they think of kids a lot younger. And it's always going to be a problem. It was always going to be a thing because this is the first lot of parents with the old enough kids that are fully involved with this and fully involved with growing and nurturing their children in a world with gaming at its full height. At this point where Fortnite has all these players, where they're going to school and their friends are saying, "Oh, look at me, I got this flying headshot. Pew pew!" And the kids want to be involved in that. Of course they do. But be involved with your kid. Don't be like, "Okay, go for it. Go." No, I don't want to give advice. No. Stop. No, Ciaran, I can't do it. Gaming is, of course, having teething problems. In society, it's having teething problems. It's much like other medias and other forms of bits and pieces. It's not Ciaran's mum. It's one of my good friends. But it's involved with the whole piece, You've got to be involved with the growth. It's much like rock and roll music, You're told by people who are much older and much more involved in the times, who are alive in times where they told that, damn kids with their rock and roll music and their guitars and the loud meow. They went through that time period of rock and roll music being blamed for everything. It was the devil's music. It was responsible for the kids acting out. This is what gaming's going through now. We've just got to write it out. People are going to be more understanding of video games. They're going to be more understanding of its part it plays with the whole scheme and with the whole event. Then with the whole community. Don't watch that 60 minutes thing, though. Don't even do it. It was a really bad piece of journalism. I'm not a fan. It just demonized gaming the entire time, and that's not on. Please don't do that anymore. Enough. Now, the Spider-Man. And really quickly about Spider-Man, because I'm going to talk about it even more in the coming period. Nick just said the Beatles suck in chat. I have a problem with you, Nick. Me and you need to fight. But Spider-Man is coming this Friday. The world is excited. Everybody's been waiting for this game. Nick's really trying to bug me tonight. We see how Spider-Man is growing in fruition. We're all waiting for it. It feels like the game's already been out with the amount of people that are posting online about having the game. But Insomniac pulls through again and releases another trailer, ba-bow, and goes, here's the story DLC for the story DLC Part 1 that's being released in October 23rd, featuring Black Cat herself. Bada bing, bada boom. Looks fucking fantastic. And it highlights one of the things I'm so excited about this game for, is to watch Peter's growth in his, how he's already interacted, his history with these characters we already know about from reading comic books and watching the animated series. But in this universe, what is his story? What is his role in life, you know? It's fucking fantastic and so much fun, but I'm super excited for it. Now to see, there are 3 announced. The Heist is the one featuring Black Cat. She could be running throughout the all 3 DLCs, but she is the main point so far that we know about the Heist. That releases October 23rd. Turf Wars is November 18th, and December 18th, I did not write down the name for. Yep, didn't write down the name for. High class journalism right here. You'll see it in the trailer. I might yell it out when I see it as well. Journalism at its peak right now, everybody. At its peak. But I'm super excited because Spider-Man has... It's called Silver Lining. Ha-ha! Silver Lining! Ha-ha! Fooled ya. Yeah, I was just waiting. Silver Lining is the 3rd DLC released on December 18th. But Spider-Man in the universe has so much connected to it. It could be pulling from different bits and pieces. You could have the Hand as well as Daredevil involved. You could have so many heroes involved that are part of the digital, you know, the part of New York City, a part of Manhattan. And I'm so excited. I'm so fucking pumped. And you have no idea. I'm really excited. Spider-Man, if you have a PlayStation 4, buy Spider-Man. If you don't have a PlayStation 4, buy a PlayStation 4 with Spider-Man, or buy the red PlayStation 4, the Spider-Man one with Spider-Man. Fuck yes, do that. It's fucking worth it. I want one of those consoles. If you want to buy that console and you don't want the console, but you want the game, I'll give you my Pro if you give me the red Spider-Man with the controller. Thanks. Thank you very much. Let's go. Spider-Man. Later this week. I'm excited. You're excited. We're going to be playing it together, hopefully, at some point. Maybe even a Let's Play. I don't know. We'll work something out. I'm pumped, though. Now, tidbit time. The main topic of the show, Anthem. Fucking Anthem. The game that killed Mass Effect for everybody. Mass Effect died because of this game. I've forgiven it. I've gotten to the point where I said, that's okay. I could see this happen. I could see where this was going. It's fine. I'm so sorry, Mass Effect, though. But Anthem is on its way. It's Bioshock's reawakening into the gaming world. It is a massive multiplayer online RPG featuring all of your mechy, like, fucking mechanisms with the rocket launchers and the babooms, the jumping around. How is Anthem the main topic of any show? It's the main topic of this show because I want to talk about the characters of Anthem and how Bioware's writing style has to shift in such a way with Anthem that it could prove to be one of the highlighting, defining parts of Anthem that makes us love the game, or it could be one of these points that we sit and we go, fuck, they really ruined it. Why they ruined themselves? Why aren't they making Mass Effect anymore, or Dragon Age? Why aren't they doing that? You see, Mass Effect and Dragon Age, you get a lot of time to get to know characters and NPCs in the world. You get to pick 3 other characters or 2 other characters and they say, oh, no, it's 3 other characters in Mass Effect as well. You get to pick 3 other characters to roam the world and fight and talk and react to the events of the world. But what we're seeing is, you know, we're not going to get the opportunity for that in Anthem. We're not going to get the moments of pure genius with Garrus running behind you commenting on the world. We're not going to get those moments of Tali and her curiosity of something that's happening because they're having to restrict the NPCs to the hub world where they're going to be, that's where you interact with them. They released the story, your story trailer, and showed that in the hub world these NPCs are living and walking around, and that's where you interact with them the most, because out in the world you are meant to be joining up with your fellow players or your friends or your buddies, or if you don't have any friends like me, you'll just do it alone, all by yourself. I got lost for a minute there, everybody. And I'm worried about that. I'm really worried about that. Anthem is doing the same role that Destiny 2 did for the whole gaming. And, you know, Destiny 2 had its problems, a lot of points of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Destiny 2 not so much, felt lifeless, missing character. But they showed with writing for characters such as Cade 6, you could see that there was really good narrative writers there. They were so fantastically put, you know. You loved interacting with Cade 6. You loved seeing the two pieces, the two Bioshock, freaking Mass Effect NPCs interacting with each other in the world. You're not going to see that anymore. You're not going to see it. That fucking sucks. It's really sad. It's really upsetting in many ways. I really hope that Anthem is good. I really hope that they're able to show that the narrative style of Bioware is still there. I really hope we can fall in love with the NPCs of the game. But it's going to be a big task. There's going to be a lot of changes made to the gameplay that it could be really refreshing or could be really jarring for fans of the developer. Hey, that's all we can really know. We can pick up the game on launch day. We can support Bioware, even though they sent Mass Effect Andromeda out to die, and it makes me fucking cry every time I think about it. But it's where we're at in the gaming world. Games are fucking great, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of the late nights. It has been another fantastic show with me, your boy, Ciaran Marchant. Right here on explosionnetwork.com or twitch.tv/explosionnetwork live every Tuesday and Friday night at 6:30 p.m. But if you can't make the live show, that is completely fine. I'm going to tell you where you can find me. The recorded version of the show goes live 7 p.m. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Saturdays, youtube.com/explosionnetwork, explosionnetwork.com, as well as all of the fantastic podcast services that run our podcast. If you're new to the Explosion Network, check us out, explosionnetwork.com. Check out all the good podcasts. There's so much fantastic shit out there. Go jump in, explore Dylan's wacky ways, you know, Nick's curmudgeonly expressions every time he's on a pod, and just Ashley's fence sitting. Ashley does the best fence sitting. If you want to see more of us, we are here on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. Follow us so you get a notification every time we go live, as well as on our Twitter at Explosion Pod, Facebook as well, Explosion Network, or if you just want to talk to me on the Twitters, at your boy Ringo. Make sure you join us later this month, where we will be streaming for 24 hours for Games Done Slow. It is a fantastic event run by Checkpoint, the organization that supports mental health in youths and through gaming. It's so fantastic to be a part of it. I'm really excited for what we have planned for you. Check out all of our stretch goals, all of our kind of little fucking knees and little bits and pieces that we're going to be putting out. Stretch goals, if you want to donate some money and help us out, that'd be fantastic. I will see you next time for another episode of Early Late Nights. This has been episode 47. I have been your host, Ciaran Marchant. Stay fantastic, because you're looking beautiful.